Hey, welcome back guys to another video. So I hope you liked my previous videos, sorry. Jeez, I'll start again. So welcome back guys. Welcome to another video. As the title suggests, I've recently hit diamond, so I'm very conscious of how I was able to go from diamond to platinum to diamond, sorry. So I think I'm in a good position and qualified to sort of give you guys advice, because some people, let's say if they've been diamond for ages and they sort of forget how they got there, they're not really in the trenches like us. Videos basically just talk about what I look at when I go over replays. So the first thing I usually do, I usually turn on stun time, because I want to see if I'm inputting moves correctly. This was really important when I first started. True combos like maybe down light side air on sword or stuff like that. Trying to make sure that you're getting them true.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, we'll turn the sound volume down just so you can hear me better. So we're facing a Mirage. I have a really bad history with this skin. I think I was trying to hit platinum, and I always face guys with this skin, so I'm a bit traumatized. So that might be why I started playing shit. One thing that I did there that I need to work on is so here I caught his dodge, but since he's only in yellow, he's not high enough health where this read will work. So this was actually a misplay on my part. I maybe could have gone for something else. I think after I did the nair, after I did the nair here, I can go for a chase dodge diagonally down air. So basically it looks like you're teleporting right on him, and then you can continue comboing him for a bit more damage. But yeah, that's just a slight misplay on my part. Missed a bit more damage. So yeah, this was actually quite a bad edge guard as well. So I'm not great at edge guarding. This was a bit rash, this ground pound. So let me go over it a bit again. So this nair was good, just send him off stage. So it was good for me to go back to stage as well, just to recap my options. So this nair was good as well, catching his recovery. But right now he only has a dot. Yeah, so one thing that I didn't pay attention to in the game is these red dots. So these red particles indicate that the opponent has no jumps left, and I'm pretty sure no recovery. No, it's just no jumps left. So he used his recovery, so that was his last jump, and so now he only has a dodge. And so in most cases people dodge into the stage when they have no options, because if they dodge away, obviously they're going to die. So this ground pound insinuating that he was going to dodge down into the wall was a bit silly. People are most likely going to try and dodge through you this way. So I should have maybe hovered here or gone back to the wall and hovered for a nair into a ground pound when that's confirmed, when he doesn't have a dodge. So small things, but I could have easily taken a stock here. And at the highest level, you really want to be capitalizing on people's mistakes, because obviously the better people get, they're going to make less mistakes. So you want to get as much out of each mistake as possible. So I'm just missing. Okay, I don't think that was the best option. I think here I could have done a side light into recovery. Yeah, side light into recovery, into maybe another recovery if he dodges a certain way. But going for this option was a bit rash. I mean, it does work because the sig's broken, but I could have done way better. Okay, here, just a bit silly. Missing true combos. Just need to get back in the lab. Okay, this is another bad habit I have. So down airing on stage, this will get you killed even in platinum. I used to get punished a lot. I don't know why I still do it. Sometimes it does get people if they're directly below you, but I think it's an incredibly bad option. There's so many recovery frames as well to down air. Look at how much time he has to just let off a sig, and I can't do anything at all. So One good thing that I looked at, and I might put it in post editing, is there was a guy called Zenex Asba, and he talked about your neutral tools with each weapon. So basically the moves that you can throw out and you won't get hard punished for it. So for example, moves like sidelight on gauntlets, moves like nair on gauntlets, moves like Ser on gauntlets, because they don't have too many recovery frames, or maybe in Ser's case it moves you so it's harder to punish. In Sidelight's case, you're in a weird zone. A lot of weapons don't have anti-airs. Some do, spear, bow, axe, stuff like that, but it's not trivial to punish because you can dodge out of it. Anyway, but the point is, learn your neutral tools and learn it for each weapon. So it's different for each weapon. But the main idea is just moves that don't have a ton of recovery frames, and they're also, maybe they have good hitboxes as well. Okay, that was a bit rushed. That was a bit of a rushed ground pound. My opponent played that well. So Barrows did have high defense, that's why he lived. So I was expecting him to maybe panic jump recovery into this sig. But no, that was very good from him. He fast fell and he recovered, which actually gave him the chase dodge needed to come back to stage. Yeah, it gave him enough height to come back to stage. So that was a really big misplay on my part. So if I was to take something from this replay, I'd say I need to practice my off stage more, both recovering back to stage and punishing people's mistakes, and just patience in general. Okay, that was a good dodge up from him. Not much to say there. Teska's SIGs are just broken. That SIG just has a really good hitbox. I don't think it should hit there. Realistically, it was literally stacked on top. He was literally almost behind me. But yeah, whatever. We're just sort of playing neutral, playing Brawlhalla for the passive game it is. That was a really good catch for me. Oftentimes I don't catch. So this is a big thing in the lower ranks. A lot of people will recover like this because it does cover, especially stuff like axe, bow, cannon. These are good recoveries when you're on the ledge here, because they do catch this area around here, and unless you space it properly and throw out an attack at the correct height, you probably won't be able to punish it. Even stuff like spear is really good at that as well. But here was a good nair from me. There was no follow-up, but it's just good to get some chip damage off. So I'm just being patient here. I don't want to overcommit, because one thing I've noticed in Diamond is that when people are on the ledge, that they can sometimes dash with an attack right here. So I often like to respect people and give them their space, and just try and punish when I haven't given any openings. Okay, go. Yeah, that was bad for me. This was terrible. So this is horrible. Never, ever, ever do this. Especially against stuff like blasters, spear, any weapon that can cover this ledge really, really well. Don't ever do this, because this can get punished by literally any move. And this is like the perfect height for any move in the game. This was horrible. I could have gotten hit by a SIG, a gravity down to attack, anything. So never do this. What I should have done, so this is fine. I should have gone and touched the wall, taken my time, maybe trying to bait going above, and then, or just mix up my options in general. This is the worst option though. Never ever do this. This is absolutely terrible. And this is what I'm saying. You don't have to be great to get into Diamond. It's just, I'd say you have to pick a playstyle. My playstyle is very floaty, very punish heavy. You can be more aggressive. You can try and get into people's faces and make them miss and all that stuff. I like a more passive playstyle, but it really just depends on what you want to do. Diamond players make mistakes as well, so it's not like, even pros make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. So it's just about how well you can punish it most of the time. And this was absolutely horrible as well. So you can see, when you look at your replays, the main thing that I've been looking at is recovering. My recovery is absolutely horrendous. It needs work. I'm realizing more and more. So what did I do wrong here? So I missed this attack and now I'm here. Fair enough, I get hit by that Ser. It was well spaced. But then I instantly panic jumped and he caught it with another Ser. And then this was just an instant recovery in really bad airspace where he can do stuff like this, downlight. I'm completely dead. So actually, let's look at this. I think I only had more. Because I'd say offstage is my weakest. So I didn't need to get hit by that. I think I still had a dodge, if I'm not mistaken. No, I dodged down, so I didn't have a dodge at this point. I could have maybe recovered at that point. This was a good catch, I'd say, but a ground pound would have been better because a ground pound can drift in either direction. So I could have drifted the ground pound left. Actually, no, that's wrong. Because he was around there and the dare caught when he was here. So I did wait. So if you guys notice, I'm not panic jumping. I'm using all my jumps in measured time intervals. That sounds really technical, but I'm basically just waiting to use my jumps. I'm not just spamming the jump button because that's often how you get killed. Remember, when you're off stage, you have 3 jumps. No, you have 2 jumps, a recovery, and a dodge. So you have a lot of options. If you have at least 5 speed, you shouldn't have a problem recovering back to stage. So yeah, when I'm edge guarding, I often do like to stay on stage just because I honestly like to play safe because that's just how I am as a person. But if you do want to force your opponent off the ledge, then you can do stuff like dash jump, reverse, dare. On gauntlets that catches really well. Stuff like dash jump, ground pound, but that is quite risky. You're throwing yourself off stage. Yeah, let's see what I do. This was a good catch, and yeah, he ends up dying. So sometimes patience does work. Patience can be the key sometimes. It just depends. You also don't want to be too predictable, because Brawlhalla is a PvP game. One thing, there was a video I watched yesterday. It was about micro, meso, and macro. So micro is mechanics, meso is human psychology, like reading people, and then what was it? Macro was like your game plan, basically. It's kind of stuff like League of Legends, but basically it was saying Brawlhalla is a micro and a meso game. So you want to obviously work on your mechanics, your dashing, your movement, but you also want to work on your mental, not getting triggered, and reading your opponent. So both of those aspects are quite important. There is a bit of macro aspect in terms of keeping center stage, maybe stuff like weapon starving, juggling. Like you want to keep your opponent in a certain place for a certain duration of the game. But I'd say it's a lot more micro and meso. If you master those 2 areas, you will easily hit diamond, even Valhalla. I'd say the pro level is where the macro is the most important in Brawlhalla. Okay, so he did that. Nice, that was a good punish. Even that recovery was quite bad, I'll be honest. So you can see that if you have a glaring weakness, it'll be very obvious to you when you watch back your replays. Even me, I'm a diamond player, so some people might think it's a good level, like people there, you know, they don't make mistakes or whatever. But no, even in diamond, people recover horribly like this. I mean, this is such a... it was well timed, just because of the timing of the dare, because he obviously can't get an attack out right in front of him, and I'm right on top of him as well. Do I get a punish? No. But yeah, I'd say try and not end up in that area. Nice. So I chased him up for the recovery. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, if he had gotten that true combo, then I would have been dead, because I'm pretty sure I had no... Yeah. I had 1 jump and 1 dodge left, I think. So guys, you can see in this video, it's extremely clear to me what I need to work on during my games. I need to work on my recovering, and my offstage gameplay, because those are where I'm finding the biggest blunders. I think on stage I'm doing okay. Even here, that's horrible, man. If he had gotten a Ser, downlight into cider, then I would have been in trouble. Okay, so this is probably the best part of the game. So yeah, look at that. The only reason I was able to... the only reason I was able to do this with full confidence, I'm pretty sure I had few options as well. I don't... No. So yeah. Offstage is a very fast-paced environment. So I think it's very important that we break down this step by step, because I think it's quite good what I did. I'm gonna give myself credit. So I sent him off here with a side air, and the good thing I did here was touching the wall. It's very important that you reset your options, so you have more options than your opponent and you can follow them a lot easier. If your opponent only has 1 jump and you have 3 jumps, you'll have a lot more influence on them and what they can do. You just have a lot more freedom. But anyway, I touched the wall. I moved close to him to try and get him scared, try and elicit a reaction. So he uses a recovery. See how I'm constantly going back to the wall. I'm constantly resetting my options. This is very, very, very important, because one thing I see with people who try and go for like montage clips, like, you know, the scythe gimps and all that stuff, oftentimes they do die because maybe they're overextending off stage. If they don't catch their opponent's dodge or jump, then they're out of options really. So another good thing I did is touching the wall. And I had an inclination that he was going to dodge in. And I knew he was going to either dodge in sideways or dodge in diagonally in. Like this way. In this direction. I'll probably put it in editing. But yeah. So I knew that this sig would cover all of those options. Just because of how it works. It's a straight line up. And the hitboxes are quite good and it's got broken. So yeah. Anyway. That's why I went for that option. And that's how I won that game. If I'm being honest, I don't think I should have won that game. Because how damaged was I? I got up to 180 and he was only at 94. So if anyone was looking at this game, or let's say it was 2 random pros facing each other, they would say, yes, the guy who's at 94 is probably going to win the game, because all they need is a downlight side air, downlight recovery, a rogue Ser, a sig, anything. But this is why offstage is really important, both offensively and defensively, and that's something that I've learned in this video as well. So you guys are teaching me something. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video. If you guys have any suggestions for what else you want me to cover, feel free to put in the comments. I read all you guys' comments. Comment as much as you want. You know, the channel's been growing a lot since my recent videos, so I'm really grateful for all the subscribers, the engagement, the likes, but more importantly the community I feel like we're building. So yeah, thank you guys a lot. This means a lot to me. But yeah, have a good one.